My friends, my neighbors, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. For the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may be down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbors and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. So fill up your tankards and fill up your lungs. Leave no words unspoken and no song unsung. Make noise for your heroes, your kith and your kin. Sing out their names and the pride that they bring. Together we stand and divided we fall. And the future we write will be shaped by us all. For we are the singers and we are the song of a story that's greater than more. Sing along. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. There's nowhere that I'd rather be.
A middle-aged person right now, but it used to be really good.
In the day. When I was young.
So I've gone back to my annoying childish behaviour. So we're live. So we caught most of that conversation, which was great.
Really?
So wonderful stuff. Hey, Tiny. Good to see you, my friend.
Are you off?
That's no. Let's move that out of the way. Bit of Betty White there. I'm back. Bethany, hello everybody. So this is ignore my face throughout this whole stream. That'll be preferable because the beard has gone and I hate it so much. I mean, this is like 3 days growth, and it's now longer than the hair on my head. So, yeah, I should just replace it with the bit up here, shouldn't I? I can do that.
Replace it with like a full Gimli beard.
It's yeah, but something has happened to my face, Tiny. I know, mate. Who was the adult-sized baby on the camera? Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth. But Gina is here. Let's not talk about her like that.
Ouch.
So I know what has he done with Steve. It's ridiculously horrible, and I hate it. But doesn't matter. We're here. I'm finally back doing something that I absolutely love on this channel, which is chatting to people rather than just having me or playing games or doing something like that. So, Gina and Gareth happily prodded me and reminded me that I said we'd do a follow-up. In all seriousness, you really oversold how bad it was. You look great. Shut up, Beth. Go focus on your house. But I hate it, but thank you for being nice. So I've been reminded about doing this because I've become really lax at a lot of stuff over the last few months. For those of you who know, yes, I got married as well to a wonderful person who tolerates me. So I'm actually using one of the mugs that we were given, and hers is white and it says Mrs. Always Right. So so we're doing well. We're doing well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down and chatting about everything again. So normally I do a little bit of what we're doing, where we're going, and a little bit of news. So the makeover is happening at E1. I've actually asked Gina if she would like to take part in this as well. She's going to find out if she can get the time off work. So we will know closer to the time on that. So Gina is going to have a victim with her and take around £200 and kit them up at Empire. So we'll find a brand new player who she can torment. And everything, so that'll be good because for those who don't know, Gina has a YouTube channel, Little Larper, and has done a few kit stream videos. They're quite old now, but she's a lot more talented when it comes to kit than me. So we're doing that. We're aiming for 5 people, but more on that will happen in the new year. Calendar. So I like to do stuff for charity, and I'm doing a LARP calendar. This is a very last minute thing, where the theme of it is getting ready for LARP. So don't care what the photo is. Take a photo of you getting ready for LARP. It can be putting makeup on. It can be, I mean, for me, it's just going to be me in a pair of pants putting on a skirt. Because everybody needs to see this.
I was going to say, is this going to be that kind of calendar?
Well, it won't be for 11 of the months, but my month will come with a warning on it. I'll do the censored bit over a lot of it. Yeah, it will have a little tiny black line on it as well. So, but yeah, cheesy as you want. It's got to be fun. It's got to be a laugh. So yeah, so that's where we are with it all. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. If it'll come to me, I'll just interrupt everyone and come up with it because tangents. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
But still, so if you'll recognise the people here, you might recognise their voices a little bit more. So we'll do the introductions first of all. So we'll go from, this will be the channel bit. I'm going to say from left to right. And now we have to see if people are paying attention. So Gareth, that's you first.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Gareth Cadogan. I'm the
Everything.
I do a lot of stuff with Scroll and Dagger. I'm a co-writer of Quest of Ruin. I'm also writing a couple of other podcasts. I'm the assistant editor, the director, and the voice actor of several characters. So there we go. That's everything I do. And now on to Gina.
Yep. Hello, Gina Moriarty. I am the lead editor of Quest of Ruin. That is my kind of major role. And I also voice act as Gina and a couple of other characters as well.
Excellent.
Yeah, voice pops up a lot.
And then finally the blue-headed Chaos Goblin in the right corner.
I'm the blue-headed Chaos Goblin. I am supposedly one of the writers of Quest of Ruin. I sometimes do it, sometimes don't. And I voiced Blink the Goblin and someone else who I can't mention because they're not in it yet. Crap.
Maybe also add your name.
Yeah, what's your name?
I'm CL, the blue Chaos Goblin.
CL.
But I will also answer Chaos Goblin or hey, do you want a donut?
Or you.
That is preferred.
I can say with that, I mean, look at my face, I live on donut. So, but no, so I have a thing where I'm not nice to people to their faces. I talk about them nicely behind their backs. Always positive, always wholesome, and everything. So last time we did this, I had actually been saying how Belink was my favourite character on that because it's just
Because you're correct.
he's just absolutely awesome. There will be no spoilers in this chat either, as well, because obviously I read for episode 29 today.
Yeah.
I've only been pestered for my stuff for about 7 years now, and I've only just sent it back because I'm a bit shit.
You've been busy. It's okay.
Yeah.
No.
The reasons for not doing it until now are pretty valid, I'd say.
No, get stuff done. I hate not getting stuff done, so it's my own fault, and I do apologise. But I've
I've got to record this.
I literally got up this morning and I was sat here when my daughter had gone off to school, Helen had gone off to work, and I sat down and did it. And then it took me about an hour, and then by that sort of time, I couldn't talk. I'd forgotten how much doing Abney's voice destroys my throat. So I've gone through so many strepsils today. It's unbelievable.
Gosh.
It's
God, I'm sorry, dude.
I love it. I know, but don't get me wrong. It's you read bits out, pause it because you're just giggling away to yourself.
Abney's a great character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do thoroughly enjoy it, and I've been listening to random episodes. So I put the playlist on and put it on random, and that just to listen to random bits and bobs and stuff today.
Two-parter went.
Yeah.
Well, I've listened to it all anyway. I listened to it all as it was coming out, and then I sort of stopped listening, and then I put it all back on random. So obviously, because I need to talk about it now, I've forgotten everything. So because this is like me going into my GCSEs.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So that's pretty much that's how that works for me, which is great. But
I just love the implication that you just didn't listen to it all and just like whatever episode.
Yeah, we'll just do one. It's like, hang on, there were vampires last time. Where did they go? What is this about Gorgons?
No, I thoroughly enjoy it, and I enjoy reading because when I'm reading the script, because I don't want to know a lot of stuff that's going on ahead. So it's difficult not to read little bits and bobs because obviously I read like what's happening in a little scene so I can then like gauge the reaction. And with Abney, 9 times out of 10, I'll ignore I'll ignore what's going on because I just get the impression that he'll always just do his own thing regardless.
Yeah.
So he's very much like me. He's just a grumpy old man. So likes his creature comforts. And something else that I can't mention, which I fell in love with this morning. So that was really, really good. And
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that can be now.
Can I say? Am I allowed to say? Just to tweak your memory on it?
We'll No,
Yeah.
to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
I mean, we can talk about it once we finish the stream, and you'll tell us, and we can we'll probably be like, oh yeah, you could have mentioned that. That's fine. But yeah, unfortunately, no.
Oh, I can't even message you because it's on. There you go.
I might be able to get this up.
It's I really enjoyed it, and when you mentioned
That's
it,
cool.
it made me. Actually, whose phone are you using for your?
We're on my phone at the moment, so if you can message Gina, and she'll be able to read it.
I'll message Gina.
Yeah.
There we go.
What the heck was the last time they spoke to Abney? Because the last episode I was editing was like,
mention that. That's absolutely fine.
I can mention that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's fine. The Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely wonderful to see, and just everything that he does, and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, I've got this. It's like, oh shit.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Hi Abby, how are you doing? Hope you're good. Yeah, so it's been fantastic to see. So my first question that I have to ask, this is something I need to know. I spent about an hour and a half going onto fairly dodgy websites to try to find out how the show's doing. Basically, try to see what your numbers were, what ratings you get, and stuff like that. The only things that I found, one was on a Japanese website, which had a 5-star review.
Okay.
On it, which was, I was just like, okay, that's fine. And then they talk about it, and they mention, fuck, I can't remember characters' names. Oh, they basically they talk about their favorite character, which was really nice. And then there was an American website as well, and it was the same thing, different person, 5-star review, and that was it. And it was just like, okay, but there was nothing there to say how your numbers are, your reviews, feedback, or anything like that. Do I have any mods on? No, I don't. Oh, for fuck's sake! I gotta do it myself. Hold on.
It's just like I don't want to be taking up all the internet.
Yeah. I'd say I'd just to go with like a general sort of idea. I'd say considering we
came out of
nowhere, basically, we didn't have a pre-existing fan base. We didn't have anyone that we could kind of rely on,
like actors or anything like that.
No, like we're basically just going, hey, hello friends, here's a thing we've made. Please tell as many people as possible. So yeah, considering that's where we came from, the numbers have been pretty decent.
Yeah. We've got listeners all over the world.
Yeah.
I have that, so
yeah,
that's quite nice.
Including quite a few places that I have no idea how they would have found out about it, but they're listening to it, which is great.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to podcasts and Spotify, it's when I put in the search terms on Google and stuff like that, and I ignored all my usual sites that it comes up with, it was very much a lot of people talking about our podcasts destroying Spotify, which was a weird thing, and then it's a lot of there's a lot of people talking about podcasts from different countries and things like that. So like Iceland has a huge podcast following in it. Which was quite nice to see. A lot of places in Scandinavia as well. So America's just, I think they listen to everything anyway, and a lot of places down in Asia too. So that's really, really good. So I don't want to know numbers, but were they? Were the numbers what you were expecting? Are they more than what you were expecting? Are you happy?
Going in when we first started, I didn't really set any expectations of numbers in my head because I didn't want to
set them too high.
Set them too high and be disappointed, or set them too low and just be like, oh my god, this is overwhelming, whatever.
Yeah.
So I just my kind of attitude going in was, we're going to put this out. It's our first podcast, so it's not going to be anything massive. But we'll just put it out there. Whatever, see how it goes. Whatever happens, happens. If we get some people listening, then that's great. But I wasn't really expecting anything major to kick off right away, and certainly not for the first one. Like I think I mentioned, we're working on a couple of other projects which we're hoping to put out next year.
Yeah.
And from what I know of how podcast companies work, the more content you've got going on, the more listenership you can build, and then people start listening to one, and then they
look it to you and go, oh, they do another one. Maybe I'll like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way of it.
Yeah. But the numbers that we're seeing at the moment, they're about sort of what I would have expected for
a brand new
thing. So yeah, nothing
huge.
Nothing huge and out there, but
it's not nothing.
No, it's certainly not a disappointment, which is pretty much as good as I was kind of hoping for at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, that's good. That's good to hear then, at least, because it's like when I started this channel, I was happy that 2 people listened and I got to chat to someone. I was really happy with that. It's simple things and that. So, but Abby, that's the link for the podcast. Try to say like 4 words at once for the podcast. So Quest of Ruin, it's not a LARP podcast. It's like a D&D.
It's a dark fantasy audio drama using Dungeons and Dragons as a framing device within the narrative.
Yes.
It's what they said. Really worth a listen. So we've got there are people in the Discord who listen to it a lot, which is really nice and
it's nice to hear, because it's one thing seeing numbers.
Yeah.
It's another thing seeing people actually react to it.
Yeah. And it's also a big difference, but it also, there's a big difference in how you feel about it between, like, if you've got friends who are listening to it, that's great. That's really lovely that you can support it. But but at the same time, it's like there's a part of it where it's like, well, they're listening to it because they're my friends and they want to support me, which is great. But it's a different sort of thing where it's just like people who don't have that sort of obligation.
People you don't know
who are listening to it completely and only because they want to.
Yeah.
It kind of makes their compliments slightly more genuine, because it's like when it's your friends, it's like you just saying you like it because you're being nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think any of our friends who are listening to it and saying positive stuff are just saying it to be nice. I think they are genuinely enjoying it.
And I think Blinn messaged me at one point and he was just like, I'm genuinely, like, a friend of ours was just like, I'm so looking forward to the next episode. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, because one of my Twitch mods, actually, Ben, he's been listening to it all, because where he works from home, and that, so he gets a lot of downtime where he's just like staring at spreadsheets and what he does.
Literally,
I can relate.
And that, so he's been listening. He's in that sort of boat. He listens to it all, and he's really enjoying it as well. So
that's awesome. Thank you very much, Ben. That's really appreciated.
Yeah, and you've got Alex in the Discord as well. And he, funnily enough, when I was saying this is going to be on in that, and he was saying he's really enjoying it as well. So there are definitely people there. I think. So yeah, there's definitely people out there who are listening to it. I love seeing the runes pop up on Twitter, because I'm just there looking at it going, what the fuck is this? Scroll down. It's like, no, I don't need to look into that. I refuse to sit down there with a puzzle and try to work out what these are. It's like, no. I think I've got all the scripts I've got all the scripts that I've got saved. There's going to be a clue in there somewhere, but I don't want to read ahead. So how many episodes are there in the first season?
There are going to be 30 episodes in the first series.
Okay. So we're almost halfway then.
Yeah, we've released episode 13 last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we've got 14, which will be released early access on Saturday, and then it will come out for general release on Tuesday.
Yeah. So what's been the general reactions from a lot of people who are watching it? Have obviously, apart from Bellink being the best character, Abney being the second best character, and then there are others I'm sure involved somewhere. What
Which is on their own, you know.
what's been the reaction to people? Have you found that people have developed like their own favourite characters for certain reasons, or because I've noticed that you've been getting fan art as well, haven't you? You've been getting.
If we have, I haven't seen it. We have official character art that that I shared very recently because the artist, I have a feeling she might actually be here. The artist who we commissioned, Cassie, she has opened up emergency commissions for various reasons. So we thought we'd share that as well. So that might be what you've seen recently. If there is actual fan art out there, I want to see.
Yeah, I would love to see some fan art. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that must be what I'm saying. So your artist friend has opened commissions for reasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel free to chuck the link in the Discord then, because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Gina, you know what LARPers are like, and all LARPers would love a picture of themselves at some point. So
yeah, she's done loads of like D&D.
She does. She does a lot of D&D character art.
So LARP is not is not that far a jump.
No.
But really I mean, the artwork that we've got, all the artwork on the website for the characters, like the official stuff, that's all done by her. And if you have a look at that, you'll see it's really good stuff. So if you fancy some character art in that sort of style, then Gina's putting the link up on Discord
I need to
now.
find the link.
Right.
The link will appear.
I recommend it. She's very good.
Yeah. No, that's really, really good. So.
And she's very good to work with as well.
Yes.
From a professional level. Like, we could be saying this as just her friends, but on a professional level, she kept us updated with how she was doing. She made sure to send us in-progress pictures to make sure if there were any changes that we wanted to make, we could make them before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And when we gave her a deadline, she met the deadline.
She worked to that deadline, which was fantastic.
No, that's good.
I think I even managed to change the colour of the link socks at one point.
So, okay, that's...
By the way, just to save you doing stuff, I have link.
You have link, okay.
I'm gonna...
Oh, you have link. Okay, smashing.
Huh? What link?
I'm guessing to Cassie's art stuff.
Oh, okay. Cool. I don't need to do it then. I was in the middle of typing as well, so... That's fine. And see what's got it.
Just to go back to your original question about what people are saying about various characters. So yeah,
John likes Yayla because the actor's from Cumbria.
Yep, that is true. General consensus from what I've heard people talking is
Lathar's a dick.
Lathar's a dick, but is also the character that a lot of people are most interested in because he's most obviously got the most backstory stuff that's going to be going on, and we're going to be going into it down the line. Bellink is the fan favorite just because he's the most enjoyable. Varith, I think, is generally regarded as we protect Varith. I think a friend of Cassie messaged us saying if anything happens to Varith, we riot, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I've had those too. Yeah.
And they would be right too if they rioted.
Yeah.
I'd fully expect it.
No, don't want to pin that. Alex, in chat, just to let you know, mate, I've modded you.
I need a mod. So
I'm so I'm desperate for a mod. So I needed a mod. So I've modded you quickly. So if you could take the link that's in the, I'm assuming it's in the Discord now, and chuck it into chat for me, that would be awesome, my friend. That would be wonderful. Blossom and Bone. Nope, not by accident, mate. Not by accident. Did that on purpose. But yeah. Because I haven't got one at the moment. I don't know where any of them are. So it's
Crazy.
oh well. But yeah, we'll get through, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's really good then. So there's a lot of positive feedback and things like
Yes.
that. How have you found the because I know that within like the podcast community, there's a lot of people who sorry, Alex, there should be a link in general, I'm guessing. In the Discord.
Hang on.
Or it will appear in general in the Discord. And
It was. Because I've got so many things open, it was taking you a hot minute. There we go.
yeah, if you just copy and paste that link into the chat here so people can see it, that'll be awesome. Perfect. Wonderful stuff.
Mod you. Well done.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. That's awesome. Yeah, so within the this community, because you see and you hear a lot of people who they talk about other people's shows and they do like promotions and stuff like that. And stuff like that. Have you been getting feedback from other people who do podcasts or reaching out at all or anything like that to make any form of connection and
Nothing
stuff?
really to that extent.
Not yet, no.
But as you know, I've been cast in another podcast by a different company, and I'm in that Discord server for that production. And someone said something about like, oh, I'm in here with all these cool people. Me being me, just when I wouldn't describe myself as cool. And someone else in that server responded to her and said, I'm sorry, but as someone who actively listens to stuff from Scroll and Dagger, I have to disagree.
Yeah.
So
which,
people are aware of it.
yeah, which was lovely, except we were in the car at the time. I was about to turn across like a junction, at which point Gina, who's reading this, screams like joyful scream, but still screams as I'm turning, which is not what you want, as I nearly had a heart attack because I thought Gina had seen an oncoming truck or something.
Fantastic. One compliment.
So there's me just
Big
back
car
just
crash.
driving. What was that? What? Someone said something lovely about us on Discord. Brilliant. Could you just not have done that right then? So yeah.
Time and a place. Time and a place.
Lovely to hear it, but not at just that minute.
No. No.
We have chat. Excellent.
Yeah, big
So
fan of
people in the
Varieth there.
podcasting community are aware of us.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but also a little bit terrifying.
But in this, among the stacks, I mean, are we allowed to talk about who's been cast yet? Or...
Yeah, a few of them have been made public, so
Okay.
all of the ones that I've been losing my mind about are all public, so you can talk about that.
Cool. So yeah, in this other podcast, among the stacks, quite a few well-known names in the sort of audio drama podcasting community are also in it, such as Ben Meredith,
who played Elias Bouchard in the Magnus Archive. Yeah, all of these are from Magnus Archives because they're the ones I know. So yeah, Ben Meredith, who played Elias Bouchard, Alistair Stewart, who played Peter Lucas, Kareem. Oh, I can't remember his last name, but he was Simon Fairchild. And recently today, Jessica Law,
yeah.
who played
Nicola Orsanov. In that, and she was also the toy soldier in the Mechanisms.
Yeah.
So all of these are well known from the Magnus Archives,
which is an incredibly, like, if you haven't heard of it, I'm a little bit surprised. But in the podcasting world,
Magnus Archives is big.
It's huge.
Especially for us. It's always nice when something comes out of the UK. Just like.
Yeah.
Alex is very excited about Jessica Law by the looks of things there.
Okay.
So,
wow. You weren't that excited about Varith. Nah.
But yeah, excited about Varith as well. Yeah. So it's I mean, what about Bellink and Abney, man? Come on, work with me here. It's
Next episode is 14.
Next episode is 14.
Very soon.
I think we're. I have to check your audio a little bit there, little goblin, because you're breaking up quite a lot.
Hi.
So if you just say something else for me.
The friendship between Virith and Belink is the best thing ever. And it's my favorite part of the show. And I write every single one of those scenes. That's me. That's all me.
Yeah, and I then step in and make it like 5% less.
Oh no,
Yeah, that's it.
I don't want to hurt you. It's a high five.
Okay, that's better. I think I just had to turn you up a bit more. That was all good.
Right.
Hi Mark, how you doing, bud? I'm good, mate. So no, that's really, really cool. So what have been the difference? Because obviously when we first did this conversation, it's like nothing had been released yet. It was literally, was it the day before? I think it was the day before.
It was definitely the week of.
Definitely the week of, and all of that. So there was a lot of, well, we're doing this, we hope for this. There was a lot of conjecture and a lot of thoughts about this is where you'd want it to go and hopes and stuff like that. But how has it been now? It's been out for a while. You've done 13 episodes. So what have been the challenges that you have found now of actually keeping it going? And have you found that your passion for it has dwindled at all, or are you finding that your passion for it has gone up? Have you been struggling? Has it become easier? Do all of the voice actors take an absolute age to get their stuff back to you?
No comment.
Yeah,
No comment.
because like the editing process is a lot more streamlined. But there's a lot more that goes into release than I think we were anticipating.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of playing catch up for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also we bought a house.
Yeah. So we were dealing with that basically like a month after we released. We then were going through the whole moving house thing.
Solicitors and
so that complicated the issue somewhat.
And then the actual moving as well.
Yeah.
And we were both ill recently, so life gets in the way of things, as it always does.
Yes, indeed. But all that has now happened, so we've been able to get back on track.
And now we've got Christmas coming.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. How has Christmas affected everything at all for you, or?
Not really, no. I mean, with Gina's work being as it is, we can't really go anywhere for Christmas, so we're going to be here anyway.
Okay, that's cool. So, how about the writing of the world and all the writing stuff? Because I believe you're working on season 2 now.
We are currently working on season 2. Yes.
We're working on season 2, which is why I binge watched all 13 episodes that are currently out on our YouTube yesterday at about midnight, so that I could remember for when we got here where we're up to. Because in my head I've got season 2, and that is all spoilers. Like people are dead. People are dead.
Well, that's a spoiler right there. It's.
God, freaking Mark Ruffalo over here.
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy who plays Spider-Man will be fine.
Tom Holland. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If I ever turn into Tom Holland with spoilers, just know. Yeah, we're gonna finish season 2 soon, hopefully. To be fair, I've been dragging my feet on that one, because there's a bit that it's season 2 is my favorite. I liked a lot of what happened in season 1, but when we got into season 2, the characters were already developed, so you didn't have to spend as much time developing them. They were already done, so you could then
all that work building them up.
Yeah, and then knocking them all down again. That was what happened a lot in season 2. And there's a bit that I am very proud of that we wrote that took a really long time. I think that was the longest it took us to write one episode, and it was all about one particular character having a moment. And it's basically a episode-long moment. And I'm really proud of that one. And it took a really, really long time. Really long time. Very over-emotional, that one. Very long time. But that one's good. So, hang on in there. Season 2, it gets really emotional and great. But yeah, we've been busy. I've been doing crazy crap. I do crazy stuff TikTok all the time, so I'm stupid busy with stuff that I really shouldn't be doing, like cosplays and stuff. So yeah, we'll be writing in the new year, in January. We'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, frequent interactions between me and CL will be CL saying, "Okay, so I've started work on another cosplay," and me then screaming at him, going, "No, we need to work on script. Stop doing cosplay sheets."
The last one was quite quick.
Yeah, they're always quite quick.
It's not how quick they are, it's how many of them.
Yeah.
So the distractions are real then.
The
Distractions are real. You don't want to fall out of love with something. I feel like if you do one thing too much, you will fall out of love with it. And
Yeah.
I had a moment, I don't think anyone, like, I had a moment where we'd finished season 1, it was all recorded, and I looked back and I went, oh no, it's dreadful. Just because I'd done it so much, and I was convinced it was awful, and it took like listening to the fully finished episodes with everyone's voices in it to make me go, oh, actually no, I do like this, but I think I've been thinking about it so much, so I had a moment, I had a whole moment. But season 2's alright. I'm happy with season 2. It's all fine. And all the brand new characters we've had to bring in to replace all the dead ones. Yeah, it's been great. It's been great fun. It's just Blink. That's what season 2 is. It's just Blink by himself, and everyone else is just just Blink by himself.
You could do a Belling and Abney police drama like Bad Boys, just a bit shitter.
Oh God!
Could you imagine?
Content.
It'll be like Lethal Weapon, just with a lot more explosives.
I'm just
You can do
imagining
it,
like
I'm not writing it.
That.
I don't think you need to.
No, it kind of just writes itself.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
to be fair, there is one new character who's in season 2 who I took sole responsibility for and wrote, and people will either love them or absolutely hate them because they're like a fey creature and they speak in rhyme. And I love this, and it took a really long time, and I vividly remember sending angry messages to Gareth going, hey, you rewrote that part of the script and they're not speaking in rhyme. So that's
what are you doing?
I was like, excuse me, leave if you don't know what you're doing, just leave it to me. That was fun.
If you ever need me to actually just give Gareth a smack, just text me.
Yeah, many messages go through Gina. Gina!
That goes for everybody. Ping Gina a message and say slap Gareth. It's out there now. We're there.
Wait, how here? All roads lead to my abuse, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, we're horrible to the characters. Now we've got to pay it back, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I say that I don't do any of this.
No.
So Plants has just said, I've just started season 1 and I can't wait for season 2.
Excellent.
Bethany wants to know how many potatoes in chat it would cost for Gina to slap Gareth. So that's Twitch points. So that's up to Gina. That one is. How many points is it going to cost potato wise?
Is there like a exchange rate that I need to be aware of?
It's I don't know how many. I mean, what's my point system at the moment? So people can generally spend. So it's like up to 3,000 potatoes is my biggest thing to do. And that's to guide where I raid at the end of a stream. So that's 3,000 potatoes. All I will say is that if Helen was here, you don't put a challenge on it because she's got like nearly 300,000 points. So,
damn.
But she's been watching since the beginning. So,
I think for your safety and the safety of season 2, I'm gonna have to decline.
Okay, there we go. Bethany also has 50,000 points. So just to say.
Yeah, I think any number I gave would have been immediately done and over.
Yeah,
it would have been. Yeah, just throw that one out there. It's right. Dawn says, "I do not consent to this scene." Abby has 79,000, and also just to point out, because it's my channel, I actually have infinite. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I am not naming a price.
Yeah,
No,
no, because
that's
it
all-
would just be immediately met, and
That's all
like, it
good.
would probably be met several times over, which would probably mean I have to be slapped multiple times.
It's fine because I did a stream for one Christmas where it was basically we were all having a couple of beers or wine and stuff like that, and it just got silly. The amount of points that were being spent. I actually got a warning from Twitch for promoting alcohol consumption. It was exactly mob mentality for the win. So it's yeah. So there was a lot of it that goes on, but I just funnily enough, I get a lot of ideas for streams and things like that could be quite fun to do. How would you feel about doing a doing like a table reading on stream?
I'd be down for that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. We could do the beach episode.
The long threatened but yet to be materialised beach episode.
Yeah.
I'll write that beach episode. It's sat there. It's an empty page in the script, being like the beach episode, waiting to happen. I'll do it.
I'm pretty sure I went onto the script writing software at one point, and I went on and it said the beach episode, and there was some dialogue already, and I was like, what the hell is happening?
I love it, but yeah, that could be something that could be quite fun because there's a lot of these things do like and TV series they do recordings of their readings, don't they? So it could be something quite nice. I mean, I'd happily host it, record it, and stuff like that. So I feel like every series legally has to have a beach episode. There you go. It's a blessing from chat.
Especially if it's anime in any way, shape, or form. Oh man, if Quest of Ruin could be an anime, I would kill to see Belink in anime form.
There you
That
go.
would
Fan art. Do Belink as an anime character. Takes some
And
challenge.
Seal doesn't actually kill someone.
Abby, just a question: do you know anybody who could do that? Because Abby is a font of all knowledge for me. So, and she knows this sort of thing. So, if she knows someone who would do a anime character, then
There was a guy.
yeah, Abby's really really good at this. She's wonderful. So, absolutely, or Abu Slultly. I don't know what that word was, Abby, but well done. Absolutely, it depends on what you want. Need excellent. So we'll have to find. We'll have a chat and we'll get something sorted and we'll get. Oh my god, I want an anime picture of Belink and Abney, buddy cops. That's what I want now. Right, I dyslexia at its finest. Thank you, Abby. I will pay for that. I would actually pay for that to get done. I will commission that. So there we go. First bit of fan art. Belink and Abney, buddy cops, anime style.
People in with fan art. Just keep spreading, like, spam the fan art all over the internet. So everyone's like, oh, I love this. This looks really cool. What's this from? And be like, come listen.
This podcast, which is nothing like this. What this picture.
Nothing like this picture. Yeah.
Don't love it so much.
But that's the nature of fan.
That is true.
Yes, this is true. Just to wait. I mean, when the podcast,
Actual footage from the show.
well, when the podcast really really picks up and becomes a lot more popular, just to wait for the other sort of fan fiction that gets going to get written.
Yeah.
Rule 34?
Rule 34.
Yep.
Belink and Abney, yeah, a different kind of buddy.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that's the moment where I know that Quest of Ruin has really made it, is when there is stuff on Rule 34 about it, because that's when it's like, people out there, when the perverts know, that's when you know you've made it.
To be fair, talking of shipping and the weird nature of it, that's something that's been weird for me with the feedback I've been getting from people who have been immediately shipping characters that I did not deliberately write shipping into. Like, we argued about it for a while, but we, as a writing crew, have not deliberately put any shipping in.
No, that's true.
I want to know
Yeah.
who. Like who they're shipping.
Like, well, so immediately I had someone going, "Oh my god, Latha and Yayla. I love them. They are such a couple." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Right.
Cool.
No, they're not.
Really not.
The more common one is Viorith and Latha, but I've also had Viorith and Yayla, which to me felt a bit like Harry and Hermione. I was like, "Oh, don't ship the siblings," but yeah, I'm like, "You do you. Yeah, if that's how you read it, fine. That is up to you."
I think
That was a weird.
I think this is what you've tapped into, because as the people who wrote it all, you know these characters intimately. You are seeing them from that sort of way, so you've got all of this background knowledge. You know everything that's going on behind the scenes. You know where they're going. Got to be Latha and Viriath, enemies to lovers, isn't it?
That's the trope.
That'd be the trope, yeah.
That is the trope. But so you.
I mean, I will say myself, I ship it.
I know you do.
I'm not gonna lie, it was Gina, because I remember having written maybe the first 3 episodes, and Gina, you were the one who read it, and I remember one of the comments that came back was, "Oh, so these two are going to be shipped then?" And I went to Gareth, "I did not write that," and he was looking at me in this accusatory manner, and I was like, "I swear to God, I did not put any gay stuff in there, deliberately."
I thought you pulled a fast one, just like, we said we weren't going to do this here. We said we weren't going to have some weird shipping nonsense going on. What have you done?
I caused a problem.
Brilliant. But it's that's the thing though, isn't it? Is that you've got everybody who's watching it all and listening. Well, everyone who's listening to it all, doing other things and stuff like. They'll put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4 in their mind, but 2 and 2 in your mind is going to come up to like 38. So you'll come up with very, very different things. So, but this is the good thing, because the question now becomes: are you going to do what the writers of Lost did, where they looked at everything that was being written about the show, and they went, "Okay, that's what people think is going to happen. We're going to go in that direction instead."
I think you guys have a.
We know so.
Is it all a dream?
It's not all a dream. It's not all the afterlife. It is as we present it in the show. So I think there's two answers to that. On for small level, small scale stuff, maybe. So if it's stuff that doesn't really matter to the grand plot and what is actually happening. If it's just a throwaway
quirk.
Yeah, if it's like a character quirk or a throwaway thing, and we see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I think this is true."
Aolin does this,
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And if we see something like that, and we're like, "Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense," we would probably then incorporate that
as a nod
to that, or as part of the episode. But for the main story, the stuff that is actually going to be properly relevant.
Yeah.
That is all properly solidified. We know exactly what is going to happen. We know how this is going to end. We know where it's all going towards. So, in short, no, we will not be doing what Lost did.
Okay, that's good. So
we are in the opposite direction and doing that thing where they're like, "Oh, everyone's guessed this, therefore we can't do that." If people where it's ending, great, well done. Yeah, it's a bit like DMing sometimes. I think if the audience or your players, if they come up with something that's actually better, yeah, why not? Yes, that, because sometimes it's scrap what I had in my head.
That makes a lot more sense than what. Yeah, that's. We might do that but it would have to be really good, something ingenious that neither of us had even considered. But yeah, if people figure out where it's all heading and what the actual ending's going to be, fine, great. It just means they're
picking up on what you're putting down.
Yeah, they figured it out. That's good. We're still going to be using the same ending. It's going to end how we've planned out.
No, that's really cool. I think that's what I like about the whole GMing part of it as well, because I've run games where they figured out in the first session, it's okay, well, we think this is the bad guy, and they've gone up, found them, and it's example in Vampire the Masquerade, they have literally sent a ghoul and they've opened all the windows in the house and the place is flooded with sunlight. the vampire's dead, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was the big bad. I need to come up with something else now to fill that void. So someone else comes in and fills the void, and the game changes. But I've also had it where they've worked it out, and they've done a similar thing to go and find the big who's going to become the big bad. They've challenged that they've gone and had a fight with them immediately, and it's TPK, and we're 45 minutes in, TPK, right? So pub.
Can't draw all of you.
Whoops.
So yeah, it's that
Right.
sort of thing. But no, that's really good. That's really, really good. So you wrote the beginning, you've written the end already, and it's now just how you get there. You'll work out as you go. Then
Yeah,
different-
pretty much. We've got like the main bullet points of it, so we know they're going to go here to here. They're going to do
this.
and this important thing is going to happen. So like all the major plot beats we have mapped out, so like it's all bullet pointed, but we have kind of left it open on like a small scale, so we can be like, okay, as they go from here to here, this character can go and do this little bit, and then this character can go do this little bit, and all this other stuff,
Character growth,
and all that.
relationship dynamics,
Yeah.
feeding more into world lore and allowing the audience to learn.
Yeah. But then they will all come back and be where they need to be for this next bullet
Big.
point.
Big bit.
Yeah.
The end.
That's good.
But yeah.
That is good, because I mean I do love listening and hearing the interactions. Been going. I like reading what's going on between the people as well, and you can see right. I think it all comes back to the shipping again, doesn't it? But it's like you see the connections between certain people. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, they're obviously better than that, and it's like there've been a few points where I'm just thinking, this is a party. This game's become a party split. It's like they're all going in. There's a point where you like, oh, they're going off in different directions now. That's going to be a pain in the ass for the editors to edit together. Now let's see how it goes on there. And then it's just like, no, okay, brings it all back together, and you get that nice, but it's I suppose to say it's the human dynamic, isn't it, as well, that you've incorporated into it all. These characters they have proper emotions, they have the feelings, and you get that from them all as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not Bellend,
They
he's
have some
just a
lovable
bellend,
voice
but
acting.
he's a lovable
Yeah.
bellend. It's great, and yeah, I think that's something that you've been able to. I mean, so kudos to all of you, because you've written something quite that you can, the characters you can get attached to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, 60% of them is like, if they all died in a fire, I'd be like, yeah, but we got these ones still. That's great. And that, but but in all fairness, I'm like that about a lot of TV
Yeah.
shows, films, things like that. It's like, well, yeah, if you killed all that lot off, I'll be all right with it. It's like, yeah, it's like watching Lord of the Rings. It'd be like if you just had Sam and had Merry and Pippin getting drunk and high throughout the whole for like 7 hours. I'd have been well up for that, and that would have been hilarious to watch. But
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, what have been your? Sorry, go on.
So I was going to say that was hard. Like, we played a game literally in the last month where we would quote each other lines and be like, what character says this? And if you can't distinguish if it's too vague, then it's wrong, because each character has to have a voice, like the elements that you can tell who's who, even without the voice actor. So that helps, I definitely think. Something like really easy, like which way to but they even with the enunciate, some people shorten vowels and stuff, some people use do not, some people use don't, like
Yeah,
it sounds
I was
so
going to say Varith has, like, America, who portrays Varith, has a very particular way of speaking as them, where, you know, it's become so very distinct that when I see contractions in the script, I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's not Varith. What is this? They wouldn't say that.
yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So, I am going to do the Seth MacFarlane thing, because Seth MacFarlane's always asked to do his voices and stuff like that.
Okay, sure.
The Auburn Alchemist. I'm not going to scream. They've just done
It's my internet wife, Cat.
There we go.
Hi,
I
Kat.
finally made it. Hello, Kat. How are you?
Speaking of Kat, she was in episode 10.
Yep.
Yeah, she was a
So I mean, So yeah, I would like. I mean, how much editing goes into people's voices? Do you alter them in any way, or?
Some of them,
Aelin.
yes.
Yeah,
Aelin.
Aelin is the main one.
yeah. We pitch drop Matt's voice when he's playing Aelin, just to make him sound a bit like deeper and
More like an orc.
buzzy and more orky.
Yeah.
But for the others, I don't think we really do much.
Yeah.
Apart from like just the normal like noise cancelling and
Yeah.
filtering out
Making sure we
background
get
stuff.
rid of the background noise. Elowen, the halfling girl from episode 3, who I play, that got pitched up because I'm not a child.
Yeah.
And I can't make my voice go that high.
How tall are you, Gina?
5'4".
Very small. Almost. I mean, my daughter's taller than you, and she's 13. I'm just going to say that.
You see why I call myself Little Larper?
Yeah. Sorry.
I will not
And
be
obviously-
mentioning this at any point in the future.
Yayla's voice obviously gets changed because Yayla's voice actor is actually really posh. So to change Yayla's voice, that takes quite a
Ignore that. That was a load of
That was
nonsense.
a load of nonsense. I'm trying to think of.
Ooh. Oh, there you go.
They're both spoilers.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, there's a couple of voices that I've done quite a bit of editing to, but they're both in later episodes. But one is coming up actually in episode 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a bit in 14, I think. No? Okay. I mean, you know better than me.
Yeah, no, not in 14. But yes, episode 15, there is a vocal portrayal that I did do quite a bit of editing to. I mean, if there's caves or like very echoey places, then that needs obviously editing to make it sound like
You're in a cave.
you're in a cave. But on the whole, most people, we just kind of use
Yeah, most people are
recording
as they
as
sound.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You can. Alex has said you can tell us the spoilers. We won't tell anyone. Scout's honor.
We trust chat. We trust chat.
Really?
Maybe we'll think of a little spoiler. We'll think of one for like the very end, and we'll give you a spoiler at the very end.
So I'm a bit worried about chat at the moment. Asking that, we can trust them. Yeah, I know these people in chat. We can't. Okay, that's so. Who is your favorite character to edit? Then would you say who do you enjoy? Whose voice do you enjoy listening to the most, and stuff like that? Or
It's a good question.
Yeah, well, you're the one who does all the editing,
Yeah.
basically. So
I mean, you help.
I do the prep work.
Yeah.
You're the one who actually does.
Gareth makes the tea. Let's face it.
If to put it into kitchen terms, I'm the one who does like all the chopping and gets all the ingredients in their bowls, and then Gina's the chef who actually makes it into food.
Okay, that's a good analogy. I like that. And then you turn up.
TL turns up sometimes.
Yeah.
He's also there.
Sometimes.
Gareth is the intern.
How dare you?
You're the
You're
editing.
Oh, brilliant! I love that.
It's like Matt actually, as Aolin specifically.
Yeah.
I think because it sounds so different from his normal voice, it's more. I don't know how to explain it. It's more enjoyable because it doesn't sound like him.
Yeah,
And
I guess.
especially because Matt also voices Matt in the table scene. So there's, But also, I would say, just generally speaking as well, like Matt specifically episode to episode, but when it comes to people where we have guest actors, especially guest actors in more prominent roles, we've actually got fellow LARPer Momo O'Brien appearing in a later episode.
Yep.
No further spoilers allowed. But like listening to her recording was quite.
She was great.
Yeah. Because I approached her just being like, would you like to do this? And she was like, I would absolutely love to.
Well, I'm insulted, to be honest, at that. It's just, I mean, I'm sat right here. It's, how dare you? How dare you?
I just got described as the intern of my own freaking podcast group.
Well,
So
that's
the thing is
that's
going
the
around.
chat. That's the chat that you can trust right there. See, I know my chat.
Well, I did say like guest actors in prominent roles.
Mhm.
So you
Which does include
are a
me.
guest actor in a prominent role.
Yeah, I think was it four episodes, 3 episodes I've done. I think.
And that's more episodes than Momo's in.
That's true.
There
He's
we
only in
go. Sorted. Have that.
So,
one.
Sit for an entire Google reading and only have 3 lines. And they get very angry about it, and it's very funny.
Excellent. Thank you, Dawn. Dang. Yes. Dang indeed. Dang indeed. Yeah, there's, I mean, Abby in chat. She's a wonderful voice actress, and we've when I've played Sea of Thieves with her, and that her, yeah, she's very very wide range, and she has me in stitches when she does it all, because she's very good at Sea of Thieves. Shit. So it's yeah, it's
Some pirates, I'm there.
yeah, it's wonderful to do. So I mean, I have been looking at getting playing Sea of Thieves again, actually. So that's an open invitation. If you fancy playing Sea of Thieves on stream, I'll be more than happy to do it. So
Good.
yeah, do it in character. No, that would be my voice wouldn't survive. It was
you do love that.
doing it.
Leave the link in. That wouldn't be too much.
No, can you give us a bit of Bellink?
As a pirate. Oh yeah, I love the cannons. It's yeah.
I think you broke the audio. That's all I can say
Yeah.
there.
Your boat killed itself there just rather than listen to that.
That was it. That's perfect. Never played, should give it a go. Definitely, Mark. It's probably right up your street, actually. Yeah, it is a laugh. I think it's actually the trailer to my YouTube channel of everybody who've worked so hard, and I'm only allowed to steer the ship, and then I go off and see treasure in the water. I fire the grapple, and instead of grabbing treasure, I grab an explosive, turn up, and I blow up the front half of the ship. And you just get everyone's there. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, Steve, you had one. I've killed myself as well at this point. So it's like, you've got one fucking job, Steve. One job. So yeah, nearly ruined it all at the end of a very long stream. But it's a good laugh. So what does the future hold then for A Quest of Ruin? So you're obviously working on season 2 at the moment. Is it 6 seasons in a movie?
Oh yeah, God no.
Sorry, I just got really excited about the Community movie there.
Yeah,
That's where I got it from. Yeah, I'm excited about that too. Can't wait.
Anyway,
so Quest of Ruin, we've planned it for 3 series, so that's what we are at the moment intending. It's going to be 3 seasons and then it's done. As for other stuff, I think I mentioned a couple of times, we've got a couple of other podcasts planned, which not going to go into too much detail about at the moment, but should be good and should be a lot of fun to listen to as well. At least that's the hope.
Yep.
But yeah, there's going to be. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline at the moment, so yeah, stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Quest of Ruin specifically, yeah, we've got season 2 currently being worked on. We're aiming to have Quest of Ruin season 1 finished by July. I think June, July should be when it wraps up.
Yeah, something like that.
And then there'll obviously be a break. We might give it the year then, and then start season 2 in July 2024. But in the meantime, we do have a lore series and some other.
Which is currently being released on Patreon.
So if you can't wait until then to listen to some of the lore that I came up with for Quest of Ruin, and you want to listen to it right just now, it is available on the Patreon.
Nice.
And then we'll also have some other
Like between season
between
content.
season content that we'll be putting out in that sort of year between, while we work on getting season 2 good and ready.
Okay. So, because
The lore is a grip into Gareth's mind. Like, if you want to listen to lore, it's basically just entirely this guy.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it's
I do the Feywild, everything else. It's like a little journey.
I do the rest.
Funnily enough, I was going to say that because I remember when we first spoke about it all, you had a book and you had all of these little tags in it and everything like that, and you were saying it's like this is empty, this is blank, this is being written. There we go, and you're saying I've still got all of this to do, and this is what I'm working on, and all of that sort of stuff. Are you still writing the lore? Are you still working on it, or is it now in your mind sort of this is good, but this is where?
So
I will go in there at some point.
So the lore stuff I've kind of come up with. I've got like the full broad strokes of the history. So like I think the whole thing's like 10 pages long, and that's just like the full history of the world broken down into like no length.
Yeah.
And I think I've tried. What I've at least tried to do is keep it open up so that if I wanted to expand on stuff and flesh it out and make it grander, then I can.
Yeah.
And if I need to use any of that stuff for Quest of Ruin, the actual series, then that can be like carried over. But if it's not needed or unnecessary, then I can just leave it as is, and it just won't get used, and it'll just be for me in my little book.
But well, that is how Tolkien started, wasn't it? He started writing a language, and then it went from there.
I'm not on that level.
And
You
then
are not a linguist.
I'm not a linguist.
It just expanded massively. So
I think where you and Tolkien differ in terms of your style of work is Tolkien was a linguist primarily, so he made languages and then came up with a story around it, whereas you are a historian.
Yeah, that is true.
You know how history works, in, I guess, like, the easiest way I can say that. So it's easier for you to start with the history and then build around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Which is amazing stuff in history. So anytime there's anything happening, if there's a place they're going to, if there's lore happening, deep dives, I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave this section of the script blank. And
Can you write a little paragraph about this city and why it's important? Oh boy, can I just? Yes, I can. I will do that now.
That's fantastic.
What I do is, Rachel discusses history of blank. Aelin discusses blank. And then Gareth's like, 3 pages later, done. I'm like, sweet. Meanwhile, I've written this. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you missed out the step there where you'll say, can you write some lore and history about this place? Yes, I can. Write up the 3 pages of fluff about it, and then send it back to you, and you go, okay, could we maybe cut that down to a paragraph or 2? Fine, I'll just say it. And then just bounce off until you two say, yeah, okay, that's fine.
This is understandable now.
Yeah.
But
we don't need the full history of the royal family of this one city, Gareth. But don't you, though?
Although at one point that does become relevant in season 2, and there is an entire episode about the royal. Yes, and sometimes it's very relevant.
Yeah, but it is importantly, it's not just a full paragraph of lore dump. It's stuff that's actually relevant to the story and comes out organically, rather than me just vomiting exposition on a page.
Yeah.
But
which I do sometimes do. I won't deny that it is a flaw in my writing style, which I am still trying to get over.
Well, no, it's a labour of love, isn't it? At the end of the day, and I mean, I will say from the first time we spoke about all of this, everybody was very much, this is what we want to do, this is where we want to go, and stuff like that, and the conversation it had a lot more structure back then. This one has been a lot more chaotic, and it's been fantastic, and I've loved it because it's very much it's a lot more passion involved in it, because you've actually got it out there now, and you're actually able to go, yeah, we've done this, we're going to do this, we've got a lot more. It's exploded.
Talk about.
Yes.
Like, we're 13 episodes in, like, we can talk about things happening as opposed to just going, oh no, I can't say anything.
We would talk about it, but no. But we could talk about the dwarf, no. The favourite, no. But yeah, like you say, we've now got the 13 episodes out, so we can actually say, oh yeah, remember in
Episode 7 or whatever.
and we can discuss where they're at currently. 13, they're in Athrodel, the sort of halfway city between the mortal realm and the Fey realm. They're discussing going to the Fey realm in the next episode. Very looking forward to that, because the Fey realm is just complete, utter chaotic nonsense. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
So what have been your
Get ready.
favourite? Sorry, go on.
No, just get ready. Fey chaos.
So what's been your favourite? So this goes to all three of you. What's been your favourite bit that's happened so far?
In the bits that have been released so far.
Bits that have been released. So I'm also testing your knowledge here as well.
Season 2, because I definitely have a favourite moment for season 2, but we can't say about that.
No, season 2. Right, of the 13 episodes that you listened to in your binge marathon yesterday, favourite moment from those 13 episodes? God damn it.
So it didn't take me that long. Okay. As just a reoccurring moment that always happens, I like any character interaction. Like I'm mostly because I write it. I like that's why I like writing it, because I like interaction. So like Yarith and Belink's friendship means a lot. And Belink saying, "Oh, your magic isn't going whoosh." I don't know why. I just find that really sweet and endearing. But as a moment that happened, I really enjoyed their rushing to get Yarith back, and how that scene was. That was one of the darker moments we got to write, as in a literal dark thing happening. We've written about a lot of dark, and I'm always messaging this guy and being like, I don't know where you are on the screen, and just being like, we need to add more horror to this. This isn't dark enough yet. And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, we need to add more. And that was an episode that I felt personally was dark enough for me. I could have gone further, but it was all right. So I like that bit. I think it was literally the last episode that came out where Yarith they're at the monolith and all that stuff's happening. And poor Yarith, they go through a lot.
They do.
It's totally uphill from here. So yeah, those would be mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go.
I do like the vampire two-parter. I think that's definitely a highlight for me as well.
I really enjoyed the Flesh Eater two-parter.
Oh yeah, that is another good one.
I loved how we ended, because the two-parter, the first part, I love how we ended it with just it's still here, and then it breaks through the door, roars, and everyone screams,
and then it just ends
and fade to credits.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed that just from a narrative perspective, because we hadn't done that before. Every episode ends with back at the table.
Yeah.
Like, here's what we've done. We'll see you next time. It's like, no, screaming, credits.
Yeah. I think I'd agree that's one of my favourite episodes as well, just because, just going back to what you literally were just talking about how we can sometimes go darker, I think that's a very dark episode. That's a very dark episode, because up until that point we'd had like dark moments, but it was all fairly usual fantasy in this sort of post-apocalyptic setting. Whereas in that one, it's no, you're in this village where they were isolated due to the war, and they resorted to such a horrible act. Yeah, some resorted to cannibalism, and then all this other stuff happened, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and then it was all over.
And you've come back after it's all over.
Yeah, like you come back and you just see the fallout, for want of a better word, of all that stuff. I think my mum actually said one of her favourite and most hated bits of the whole series was when they went into the butcher's shop and it had all like the
fleshy bussing, the thick dripping of stale blood.
Yeah, like all the really visceral, gross stuff.
Yeah, she was just like, fantastic job on the editing. I hated it, and I was like, thank you. Yeah, the Flesh Eater two-parters is like my favourite kind of story, like episodes as a whole. One of my favourite moments cracks me up every time I listen to it, which is Bereave's gone. What do you mean gone? There. And I just laugh every single time.
Yeah, it's a good alien moment as well, just because it's just such a you're asking a question and I'm providing an answer. Just purely literal.
else to explain this. They're gone. What do you mean gone?
They're absent.
They're absent.
What was that about, Abnate? No.
Yeah, I was enjoying reading the script today, and going through it again because there's moments in that one. I mean, apart from the Gatling gun, where it's very much you can see it's like a begrudging respect across the board, and then outright hatred / admiration. I think for Belling I mean, and let's face it, I am shipping Abney and Belling here because I think those two they'd make an amazingly weird couple and it'd be wonderful.
That is true.
They'd be absolutely hilarious. But some of the moments in that script today that I was reading, where I was literally, it's just sort of like, it was just like it was like Belling's this, and I was just like, huh, yeah. See, that's couple goals right there with those two. That's all I can say. I'll tell you the exact moments because it happens twice in that script. I'll tell you the exact moments afterwards. But Alex has asked a question. So this is very lore related for you, Gareth. So,
Okay.
How did you decide which fantasy monsters, creatures, and beasties to put into the world? Was it just what you liked the most?
Partly. So it's going to be hard to answer this question without going into some
Deep lore.
some very deep stuff, which we're not going to reveal yet. But basically, there are certain themes that are present throughout the whole series and will become stronger and stronger as we go along. The monsters and beasties that we use each have a connection with one of those themes. So the reason that we chose them is because we felt that those specific monsters aligned with these things that are going to be going on.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Hopefully that answers your question.
we avoided anything that was very specifically like Wizards of the Coast D&D because obviously you can't use that. So
No.
that was
Yeah.
not literally someone else's, and then edit. Like we edited. Oh, I can't say that because it's a spoiler. There was a type of creature that we wanted to have it. We couldn't call it the name of the creature.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And Alex has actually just quoted Lord of the Rings, so I'm quite proud. Here. So he says, "Cite the deep lore to me." I wasn't there when it was written, so
No, that's
he's done.
that's Find the Witch in the Wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done well there. But no, okay, sorry, Dawn. But yeah, so he cited Narnia. Oh, it is Narnia, isn't it? Yeah, fuck's sake. How dare you, Dawn? Don't correct me. Yeah, it is Narnia, isn't it? It is Narnia. Yeah. Yes, as Aslan to the witch, isn't it? For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Right, I retire. I'm quitting streaming. I'm not coming back to LARP. I'm done. That's, the small amount of reputation I'd earned myself is gone.
But just talking of lore, because I don't think I answered your question from earlier. I don't think I said my personal favourite bit.
No.
So, I mean, being such a lore head, I think my favourite bits are basically where it's just like the indication of stuff that we're going to reveal later on. So it's just like when they mention a name or a thing or a place, and it's just like, I know what that's going to be. I know where that's going.
And I get to add like the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like one specific one that comes to mind is when in episode 7 they mention a character called Galnor Greyhammer. Now this is a character who's going to.
There's going to be some more stuff about him.
Yeah, there's going to be more stuff about him coming up, and stuff related to him is going to be affecting the plot in the future. So yeah, when that bit comes up, that was kind of that's going to be important. Make a note, people.
Because that specific bit, I added a particular thread of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so keep your eyes out. But for like a specific moment, that was my favourite. At the moment of the stuff that's come out, it was a bit in episode 6 where they're in the dungeon and Varith finally
Oh,
stands up to Lathar
yeah.
and
then gets punched.
and then gets punched for it. But the reason I love that so much is because it's got two big important beats. We've got one, a big insight into Lathar's backstory, which begins to explain why he is the way he is and the stuff that's happened to him and all that stuff. But also, because up until that point, Varith's kind of just been knuckling under and not making waves and
just like, I'll deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah,
there are a few. What was it? There are more harsh things in this world than a bad word or two.
Yeah,
I mean, that they say in episode 1.
But it was finally the moment where he like stood up for them. They stood up for themselves, and you know,
they finally just went
called Lathar out.
Up.
Yeah, called Lathar out on the stuff he was saying, and yeah, I thought that's one of my favorite moments because it's a big moment of character development for Varith, and starts revealing the picture of
the iceberg.
Yeah.
Literally the tip of the iceberg. And Naruto did
yeah,
very, very deep. We couldn't get all to Lathar in season 1. There was too much. There was too much. Like
yeah,
no, there was too much. That's being more addressed in season 2 because to change a character's the way he looks at the world, you can't do that in one season with like 30 episodes. You change it a bit. Can't fully. Yeah, like that's ongoing, major ongoing.
I mean, you can see a little bit of it. You can see the beginnings of Lathar's thought process changing, even by episode 12.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of episode 1, he wants nothing more than to get rid of Varith and be like, I don't want them near me.
Yeah.
Whereas in episode 12, he's just like, yes, obviously we have to get them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think by that point it's reached the, I may not like that they're with us, but they are part of our crew, so we have to.
You're my crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even like me.
That's
You're
really
part of my
cool.
crew.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think as the same as last time. I like to stream for an hour, so we've been going for an hour and a half. So it's always the same. So we're about halfway through. So same time in June for end of season 1.
We can do
a pre-finale.
Yeah, we can. Well, I mean, even if we do it after the finale, so just like do a wrap stream just to talk about the thing as a whole and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. Yeah, we'll do that. So after it's been the final episode is done for the season, and then we can discuss all the deaths because obviously it's TPK. So obviously, so and we can see everything that's gone on, and that'll be really, really good. So if you hang about in the Discord, because obviously just don't do what other people do, lurk. Excellent. So we're going to raid. Who are we raiding? We're going to go raid Digby, because Digby is actually raising money for Jingle Jam at the moment, so he's helping the Yogs cast out. So yeah, so we'll go and raid Digby. We've had Digby on quite a lot, so and wonderful LARPer as well. So nice bit of support there. Start raid. I'm awful at doing these things. It now counts down to something. 6, 5, 4, and all of that. So go be lovely. Go say hi to Digby, and I don't know what I'm doing on Monday. We'll stream on Monday. Do something. But yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
And now.